Hey everyone, I'm Hannah, one of Napier's social media ambassadors, and I'm here to introduce our brand new YouTube series, Uni Q&As. We want to answer the questions you guys need the answers to the most, and if you do follow our Instagram, you will have seen the story that went up the other day asking if you guys had any theme suggestions for these videos. We want to keep it structured so there's everybody can see what theme the video is based on, and then they can ask the questions they want to ask around that topic area rather than having one massive long video with loads of questions in it. It was really helpful to know the themes that you guys had questions around so that we know where to base these questions, because we'd rather know and give you the answers to the questions you have than just random questions. So one of the suggestions that was left was how to budget as a student, which when I tried to break down the topic into questions and try and think of the questions you guys would ask, it kind of just left me at how to budget as a student. There was no really breaking that down any further than that. So I've decided to base this whole video on that one simple question, how to budget as a student, and I'm just going to go through all my top tips that I've kind of gathered over my years at uni and just share them onto you, and any kind of ways you can save money but also good ways to budget your money. So that's what we're going to talk through today. Just before we begin, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm currently a 4th year student studying business management with entrepreneurship. So I've had 4 years to learn how to save money, how to budget my money, and kind of learning all the best ways to make being a student an advantage to you when you're saving your money. So yeah, today we're just going to run through all the top tips I have. Tip number 1 is to always carry your student card wherever you go, because you never know where it's going to do a student discount. There's places you wouldn't expect to do student discount that do have student discount, so make sure you've always got your student card on you, because you can never go wrong. Anytime you're in somewhere, just ask. The worst they can say is no, we don't. So you're best to just ask if they do have a student discount. I know there's a lot of places I've found that have it that you wouldn't expect to have it. So yeah, another great app for knowing where does student discount is UNiDAYS or Student Beans. I know they're kind of the most popular 2 student discount apps out there. I'm not sure if there's any others, but if there are, do put them in the comments if you want anyone to know any new ones. But UNiDAYS and Student Beans is 2 of the apps that I've been on throughout my whole time at uni. It's good to have both, because one app might have a place on it that the other place doesn't, and that kind of shows you what places are offering student discount in store but also online as well. You get loads of codes on there, so definitely download those apps and you'll save money on so many places, from restaurants, clothes, takeaways, you name it, it's on there probably. So yeah, make sure you download them apps as well as carrying your student card everywhere you go. Next tip from me, it's actually a new one that's just started this year, is the Young Scot Card under 22 scheme. So if you are under 22 and you apply for a Young Scot Card, even if you have had one from being at high school in Scotland, you'll need to apply for a new one. So if you apply for one of them and you're under 22, you can get on any bus travel in Scotland for free. I think it excludes a night bus, but apart from that, I'm pretty sure any other bus you can get on free of charge until you're 22. So if you're a 1st year, even a 2nd year, make sure you take advantage of that now, because for us 4th years, most of us is probably running out soon. But do take advantage of that if you are under 22, and you can travel on buses around Scotland for free. Which is just a brilliant way to save money, because as much as a bus fare seems cheap, or you know, the bus pass you pay monthly, it does add up. So if you're under 22, make sure you get one of those Young Scot Card bus passes, and I'll pop the link to apply for one of those cards in the description just so it's easy to find it for you guys. Another great one for travel, if you're getting the train into uni, I know quite a few people that live over in Fife that have to get the train through to uni. A student rail card is something you should definitely invest in if you're getting the train a lot into uni, or just the train a lot in general. If you're getting the train back home at summer holidays and stuff like that, make sure to get a student rail card. It's £30 for the year, and you get 33% of every train journey. And you would think, oh, £30, but the speed you make your money back from that is just, it's so worth it. So definitely, if you're getting the train a lot of the time, definitely invest in a student rail card. For £30 for the whole year, it might seem a lot at once to pay out £30 for the trains, but you're definitely going to make that money back really quickly. So if you're using the trains a lot, make sure you get a Railcard, and if you're under 22, make sure you apply for the Young Scot Card bus pass, because you will not regret that. Tip number 3 is to make a Monzo bank account. I'm sure there's plenty of other apps out there that have the same facilities as Monzo, so whatever ones you know of, but Monzo is the one I've used since I've joined uni. I've had my other bank account since I've had a bank card, but when it came to uni and budgeting money and knowing how much you're spending on rent or how much you're spending on your shopping or nights out, when you spend money on Monzo, it pops it all into categories so that you can then look through it and see how much you've spent on each thing a month, which sometimes is not a very nice thing to see, but it's really good and it's really helpful when you're budgeting through your month, where you can see how much you're spending on average on your weekly shop or on nights out, and you can kind of go, oh, maybe I should stop spending so much on a night out, and then I'll be able to get more of this. Or it just helps you understand where your money's going. And you know what, sometimes you're spending in just £2 here, £5 there, and then you think, where's all my money gone? But when you go through Monzo, you can see exactly what category that falls into, and it helps you budget. When the next month's pay comes in, you go, well, last month I spent this much on this, so I'll keep that to the side. Another great thing about having a Monzo bank account is you can actually make savings pots on there, and I'm pretty sure you can have as many pots as you want to have on there. So I've got one for my holiday to Ibiza coming up soon, and I've also just got a general savings pot, and I've got a pot for any money that I make from my business that I do on the side, just so I can kind of keep that money separate from the money I make from my part-time job and any other incomings, just so I can keep that separate so I know what's coming in from that. The great thing about the pots is you can select kind of what pot you want. So on my pots, I've got it that if you want to take money out, it takes 24 hours to come out, so that I'm not pulling money out all the time. And then by the time it does come out in the 24 hours, I think, do I really need to buy that thing? Or should I just put that money back in my savings? That way you can't access the money all the time, and you do genuinely save better when you can't access it all the time. It also has an interest rate on the pots, so the longer you keep the money in the pot, the more money in the pot, the more money you'll make from keeping that money in the pot, which is a great thing. And if you want to look anything up about Monzo, I will pop a link in the description again to Monzo, just so you can have a quick link at it. Another area where you can save money is your food shopping. My biggest recommendation to any student, obviously I actually live at home, I don't think I said that yet, so I have the pleasure of not having to go and do the food shopping. That is still on my mum, thankfully. But when you are doing your food shopping, the biggest thing I can recommend being a student is shopping at Lidl and Aldi. The difference in the price when you do it, I went shopping with a friend the other week there, and we went to Aldi and she got so much stuff and it was something ridiculous, like £16. And we had been shopping a few weeks before that, and she probably got less than what she picked up in Aldi, and she got that in Morrison's, I think, and she was at least £10–15 extra in Morrison's for, I don't even think as much, or roughly the same as what she picked up in Aldi. Yeah, so do make use of Lidl and Aldi when you are a student. The difference is so noticeable when you're doing your weekly shopping, so definitely make use. Another great tip when you're doing your food shopping is, I know how difficult it can be to do a food shop for one person, and then you end up with either leftover food or you're having to spend way more because you can't just buy for one. The best thing to do is to cook the meal for however many kind of it is supposed to serve, and then freeze the rest, and then that way you can take it to uni the next day or a couple of days later for your lunch or for dinner, have it for dinner the next night, and then you'll save money, because if you take it to uni for your lunch, then you're not running to Tesco for a meal deal. And as much as £3 seems really cheap at the time, £3 every day adds up very quickly. So yeah, making your meals for, can I say, just 2 portions even, and freezing the other half and then taking it to uni for lunch. You will notice a difference not buying a meal deal daily or whatever you're getting for your lunch. But another great tip is to make use of the app Too Good To Go. If you've not heard of this app, then you have now, but it's great. I know a few of my friends use it and love it when they're a student. Too Good To Go is basically an app that has loads of restaurants and loads of cafes, and like loads of places that'll be nearby your location. They've got loads of food that's going to be going out a day, and rather than binning it, they are partnered with Too Good To Go, and they pop these, some places call it magic bags or whatever they want to call it, on there, and it is a fraction of the price that you're paying in the shop for this little bag full of a few things from the shop or restaurant, wherever it is, that you can buy and use, and you can freeze it if that's an option for that type of food. I know my friend picked up a sushi order the other day. She got like easily £25, £30 worth of sushi for a £5 because it was going to go out of date. So make sure you download the Too Good To Go app, because there's a lot of great stuff on that app that you can pick up for a fraction of the price that would usually cost you. So I'll pop the link to that app in the description as well. Now that I've gone through all the tips I can think to recommend to you guys for saving your money, I want to just go through quickly how I would budget my money as a student. And I seen somebody else doing this when I was in second year, I think. I seen a video come up on my Twitter or something around this. So when I'm planning my spending and kind of sorting out my budgeting, I like to write out a calendar just on any bit of paper or just on a notepad, just kind of with the days and the weeks all written out like a calendar would be. And then on that you can pop in on the date when you're going to get paid, or when your bills are due, or when you have any specific nights out, or when you have any birthdays or things like Mother's Day, any kind of events like that you're going to need money for. You can just pop it in the calendar, and then that way you can see when you get paid and what sort of money you're going to need throughout the month and when you're going to need that money, and it's just way easier to budget that way. And then you can kind of pop it away, make sure you don't spend it because you need, I don't know, £20 to buy your friend a birthday present, or I don't know, £30 for a night out, or things like that. I mean, £30 won't get you very far on a night out these days, but you know what I mean. That way when you're writing things out, you can kind of see when you're going to need your money, so you're not going to blow it all at the start of the month and think, oh god, I've got 3 nights out still to come and I've got no money left for them. So I found it really helpful to kind of sort out my spending like that, and by writing it down you're really cementing it in your head that I need that money for then, like, don't spend it. So yeah, that's kind of all my top tips for you guys on spending money. Anything I have mentioned that I can link below, I will do, because I know that's super helpful when you want to look into something. But yeah, if there's any other things people can think of that I haven't thought of and you want to share them with everyone, just pop a comment and people can read through them and see what other people have to say about budgeting their money. Yeah, also keep your eyes peeled, make sure you're following our social media accounts, specifically our Instagram, to do with this series, because as more topics come up I will be putting up stories on the Instagram to get your questions around that theme. But for this one it was kind of just a simple talk through the one question. Yeah, but any more questions about anything, just shoot us questions over in the comments or over on Instagram or anything. And if you do think of any themes and you missed that story, just send a message to the Instagram page or leave a comment below and we'll try and find that for you. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful for you. These are kind of just the things I've come across over my time at uni, so I hope they've been helpful and I hope they help you save your money. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.